Scientists have just determined that old ship is actually on the ocean floor just off St. Augustine. Jessica Clark brings you this lost and found story.
In the last 50 years, 3,000 ships and 100 planes have mysteriously disappeared in a specific area of the Atlantic Ocean where compasses go haywire, and the magnetic field acts strangely, throwing off navigation by around 10 degrees. Amidst this strange setting, tales abound of ships and planes vanishing without a trace, but what's even more mysterious is the occasional reappearance of these lost vessels, adding to the mystique surrounding this confusing phenomenon. Come with us as we try to solve the mystery of a ship that vanished in the Bermuda Triangle and reappeared in Ireland without its crew. Number 20. Nautical Mystery of Bermuda Triangle. In the last 100 years, in the well-known Bermuda Triangle area, around 100 ships and planes have disappeared without a trace. Scientists are puzzled by these strange disappearances and big disasters, which also happen in other parts of the world. Many emergency messages are kept in the black boxes of planes that crashed in the Bermuda Triangle under confusing circumstances. This area goes from the Bermuda Islands in Florida to Puerto Rico, covering about 805,000 square kilometers, about twice the size of Japan. Also, it has the deepest point of the Atlantic Ocean, the Milwaukee Deep, which could almost fit 1.5 Mount Kilimanjaro. In 1944, the U.S. Navy found an American ship, the Rubicon, near Florida in the Bermuda Triangle. It had lost all contact a month earlier while traveling from Cuba to Havana. Despite expecting over 300 passengers on board, the ship looked empty, except for a dog walking around the deck. Their things and food supplies were untouched, as if the passengers had disappeared suddenly. Number 19. The Saraso Sea. The Saraso Sea is a fascinating and enigmatic body of water located in the North Atlantic Ocean. It's unlike any other oceanic region due to its unique characteristics, making it a subject of wonder and intrigue among scientists and explorers alike. The Saraso Sea is a vast expanse spanning roughly 700 miles in width and 2,000 miles in length. It is bounded by 4 major ocean currents, creating a sort of natural boundary that sets it apart from the surrounding waters. These currents, the North Atlantic Current to the north, the Gulf Stream to the west, the Canary Current to the east, and the North Atlantic Equatorial Current to the south, form a clockwise circulation pattern, essentially trapping water within the Saraso Sea. One of the most distinctive features of the Saraso Sea is its lack of coastline. The Saraso Sea is also known for its unique ecosystem, which has adapted to the challenging conditions of its environment. Many species found within the Saraso Sea exhibit remarkable adaptations, such as the ability to navigate and feed within the floating mats of sargassum. Some fish species, like the sargassum fish and the sargassum anglerfish, have evolved to blend seamlessly into their surroundings, making them nearly invisible to predators and prey alike. Number 18. The Disappearance of Flight 19. The vanishing of Flight 19 remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in aviation history. On December 5, 1945, 5 Avenger torpedo bombers, collectively known as Flight 19, took off from the Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a routine training mission. However, what ensued has baffled investigators, historians, and aviation enthusiasts for decades. The crew, consisting of 13 men, embarked on what should have been a routine navigation exercise over the Atlantic Ocean. Yet, as the afternoon faded into twilight, distress calls from Taylor began to pepper the radio waves, reporting inexplicable compass malfunctions and uncertainty regarding their location. Despite numerous attempts by ground control to guide them back to base, the transmissions became increasingly erratic and desperate. The last communication from Flight 19 indicated that Taylor believed they were somewhere over the Florida Keys, a location vastly different from their actual position. Shortly thereafter, all contact was lost. A massive search and rescue operation ensued, involving hundreds of aircraft and ships scouring thousands of square miles of ocean. But no trace of Flight 19 or its crew was ever found. Number 17. Vanishing of Commercial Flight 441. The puzzle about the vanishing of Flight 441 in the Bermuda Triangle has confused scientists and interested the public for many years. On a normal day, Flight 441, a passenger plane with people and crew, disappeared without a trace while flying over the infamous area. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, is a part of the western North Atlantic Ocean. It's famous for its alleged role in the disappearance of many ships and planes under strange circumstances. Despite lots of research and investigation, no clear proof has been found to explain what happens in this mysterious area. Flight 441 was a usual flight from Miami, Florida to Puerto Rico, a Caribbean island. The plane, a modern passenger jet, was flown by a well-known airline with a history of safe service. Everything seemed normal as the flight left Miami International Airport on a clear day with good weather. As Flight 441 entered the Bermuda Triangle area, communication with air traffic control suddenly stopped. Attempts to contact the plane failed, and radar showed that the plane had disappeared. Search and rescue efforts started right away, involving many groups and ships searching the waters below, but no wreckage or debris was ever found. Even though there's no solid proof, the Bermuda Triangle is now linked with stories of strange disappearances and events. Number 16. The 14 Airmen. In December 1945, a group of 14 skilled airmen embarked on a routine training mission in the infamous Bermuda Triangle. This area, located in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, has long been shrouded in mystery due to numerous incidents of unexplained disappearances of ships and aircraft. The squadron, known as Flight 19, consisted of 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, each piloted by a seasoned aviator. Their mission was a routine navigation exercise, yet what transpired during their flight would baffle investigators for decades to come. As they flew over the vast expanse of the Atlantic, radio communications between the aircraft and their base became increasingly erratic. The squadron leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, reported navigational issues, claiming that his compasses were malfunctioning and that they were lost. Despite attempts by ground control to guide them back to base, the situation only grew more dire as darkness descended. In a chilling series of transmissions, the pilots could be heard expressing confusion and distress. They mentioned seeing weird lights and experiencing disorientation. One pilot even exclaimed, "We can't find west. Everything is wrong. We can't be sure of any direction." These harrowing messages would be the last communication ever received from Flight 19. Despite extensive search efforts involving aircraft, ships, and submarines, no trace of Flight 19 or its crew was ever found. Number 15. Saga of the MV Alta. The MV Alta, a 77-meter cargo ship, set off from Greece in September 2018, heading for Haiti with goods and hopes. At first, it seemed like any other trip across the busy lanes of the Atlantic Ocean. However, things took a different turn for the Alta and its crew of 10. In October 2018, while sailing in the southeastern Atlantic, the ship faced mechanical issues, leaving it drifting about 1,380 miles southeast of Bermuda, outside the well-known triangle, but still in the sea's unpredictable grip. Stranded in the vast ocean, the crew survived for 20 days without outside help, showing their strength and the supplies on board. Their situation became desperate until the U.S. Coast Guard, after getting a distress call, found the vessel on October 29th. A rescue mission followed, and the crew was saved, leaving the MV Alta at the mercy of the Atlantic, its future unsure and its location soon to become a puzzle. In February 2020, the mystery of the MV Alta took a dramatic turn when the Royal Navy's ice patrol ship HMS Protector found it drifting aimlessly in the mid-Atlantic, over 2,000 miles from its last known location. Its reappearance was as mysterious as its disappearance, sparking curiosity and questions. When discovered, the Alta was boarded by a team from the HMS Protector, finding a ship frozen in time, with personal items scattered, as if the crew had just left. Number 14. Mysterious Tale of Mary Celeste. In December 1872, the American brigantine named the Mary Celeste was discovered adrift in the Atlantic Ocean. Surprisingly, the ship was found completely intact, with its cargo untouched. Despite being in good condition for sailing, the crew was nowhere to be found. The last entry in the ship's log was made 10 days before its discovery, providing no clues about the fate of the crew. Similar to the MV Alta, another ship with a mysterious disappearance, Mary Celeste's journey and the events leading to its abandonment are shrouded in mystery. Various theories have been proposed over the years to explain the crew's disappearance, ranging from mutiny and piracy to the release of fumes from the cargo. However, the true story of what happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste remains unsolved, creating a ghostly narrative that parallels the enigmatic voyage of the MV Alta. Mary Celeste's discovery sparked widespread interest and speculation, captivating the imagination of sailors and historians alike. Despite extensive investigations and numerous theories, no definitive explanation has been reached, adding to the intrigue surrounding the mysterious disappearance. One theory suggests that the crew abandoned the ship due to fears of an explosion caused by the cargo, which included alcohol and other flammable materials. However, this theory has been disputed as the ship was found undamaged and the cargo untouched. Another theory proposes that the crew may have fallen victim to piracy, with the perpetrators leaving the ship adrift after plundering its valuables. Number 13. The Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman is a famous ghost ship that has been part of sea stories since the 17th century. It's believed to sail the seas endlessly, never reaching port. According to the stories, it's led by a cursed man doomed to sail forever. While the Flying Dutchman isn't based on real events, it shows how people have always been interested in sea mysteries. Over time, there have been many sightings and stories about the Flying Dutchman, often seen as a sign of bad luck. Its ghostly appearance and never-ending journey have fascinated sailors and storytellers. The legend has inspired art, books, and even sea superstitions. One interesting thing about the Flying Dutchman story is its link to the MV Alta, a cargo ship that drifted across the Atlantic Ocean without a crew. This recent event reminds us of ships sailing without control, pushed by unknown forces. It shows how maritime myths still have the power to make us wonder. The tale of the Flying Dutchman also shows how people deal with the unknown. It plays on our fear of the sea and its unpredictability. The idea of a ghost ship doomed to wander forever connects with our deepest fears and desires, keeping in our minds how small we are compared to the ocean. Number 12. The Magnetic Island. Many groups of sailors tried to rescue their ships when sailing through dangerous waters near Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. But this risky area isn't the only dangerous part of the world's oceans. One unusual place that interests scientists, tourists, and extreme divers is off the coast of Australia. The western shores of Australia have seen a lot of shipwrecks, with many ships sinking in these dangerous waters. The maritime history of this area is full of sadness, with many lives lost over the years. Stories of ghostly figures haunting these waders are common among locals and tourists. In 2022, Monica Sikat spent her vacation on Magnetic Island off the northern coast of Australia. While swimming, she took a photo showing a spooky detail, a ghostly hand reaching towards her leg. On closer look, it turned out to be the arm of a skeleton. The island got its name in 1770 when Captain James Cook noticed strange things affecting the ship's compass. These disturbances led to the name Magnetic Island because of the mysterious magnetic forces in the area. The entire coast of Australia, about 13,000 kilometers long, is full of the wrecks of around 1,600 sunken ships. Since the late 16th century, these waters have been the final resting place for Dutch, British, and Portuguese ships, traveling from Europe to Indonesia. Number 11. The Devil's Triangle. In August 1945, a Japanese fighter pilot uttered some words before crashing into an area known as the Devil's Triangle. This region, located in the Pacific waters near Tokyo, has been steeped in ancient legends. According to folklore, it was believed to be inhabited by dragons that terrorized sailors. Historical accounts tell of Kublai Khan, the fifth great Khan of the Mongol Empire and grandson of Genghis Khan, attempting to invade Japan in 1274 and 1281. Strangely, both times, his ships vanished along with about 40,000 crew members. The Japanese attributed these losses to the intervention of the gods, thwarting the conqueror's efforts. As the 20th century dawned, the Devil's Triangle gained notoriety as fishing ships and warships frequently disappeared without a trace in its waters. In one instance, a research ship carrying 100 scientists vanished while attempting to investigate the anomaly. Interestingly, the Devil's Triangle shares similarities with the infamous Bermuda Triangle. Both lie at similar latitudes along the east coast of large continental masses. Additionally, they boast some of the deepest spots in the sea, such as the Mariana Trench in the case of the Devil's Triangle. These two enigmatic regions are akin to twins in their mysterious nature. The Japanese pilot's exclamation about the open sky likely referred to encountering similar atmospheric phenomena experienced by the Beechcraft Bonanza plane. Number 10. The Michigan Triangle. For centuries, peculiar events have occurred in the Lake Michigan region, baffling researchers and locals alike. One intriguing discovery emerged when researchers mapped out these incidents. They noticed a concentration of mysterious events forming a triangle shape in the waters, dubbed the Michigan Triangle. Situated at the heart of Lake Michigan, this area has witnessed numerous unexplained phenomena. One notable incident occurred in 1950 when Northwest Airlines Flight 2501 vanished while flying over the Michigan Triangle, carrying 55 passengers and 3 crew members. Similarly, individuals strolling along the coast have disappeared without a trace. In 1978, Stefan Backing, a student at a Michigan Private Christian University, vanished while skiing near the lakey. Desperate efforts to find him, only his footprints leading to the shore were discovered. A year later, Stefan was found over 1,000 kilometers away, with no memory of how he ended up there. Beneath the surface of the Michigan Triangle lie mysterious ancient structures, whose exact locations remain a secret to protect them from vandalism. Speculations abound regarding their origins, with some locals linking them to UFO sightings. In 1883, sailors aboard the wooden tugboat Mary McLean reported witnessing blocks of ice falling from the sky, denting the vessel's surface during a 30-minute barrage. Number 9. Evidence of incidents in Bermuda. In recent years, there's been a growing body of evidence pointing to incidents occurring within the mysterious Bermuda Triangle. These occurrences aren't just confined to airplane black boxes anymore. Nowadays, thanks to modern technology, such as real-time monitoring systems, we can witness these events as they happen. An intriguing case from 2015 involves 2 adventurous 14-year-old boys from Florida. Without their parents' knowledge, they embarked on a journey to the Bahamas and documented their escapade on Snapchat. However, their excitement turned to tragedy when one of them shared a video of an approaching storm along with a distressing caption. The following year, in 2016, the Coast Guard stumbled upon the boat belonging to Perry Cohen and Austin Stefanos, the 2 teenagers who had ventured into the Bermuda Triangle. It's believed that the storm they encountered drew them into the infamous region. Despite extensive search efforts, their bodies were never recovered, leaving a haunting mystery in their wake. Various theories have been proposed to explain the perplexing phenomena observed within the Bermuda Triangle. Some attribute the disappearances to natural causes, such as severe weather patterns or underwater geological features. Others speculate about more outlandish explanations, including paranormal activity or extraterrestrial intervention. Despite decades of research and investigation, the mysteries surrounding the Bermuda Triangle persist. Number 8. Famous ship of Ellen Austin. In 1880, the famous ship Ellen Austin left London for New York. During the early weeks of its trip, the ship found an abandoned boat floating in the northern part of the Saraso Sea. Captain Baker told his crew to follow the boat for 2 days. When they got closer, some crew members went on board and found no signs of violence or life. Captain Baker then sent some crew members to sail the abandoned boat to New York with Ellen Austin. But both ships got separated by a storm. After the weather cleared, the crew of Ellen Austin looked for the abandoned boat but couldn't find it. Eventually, they found it again, but once more, there was no crew on board. Other crews sent to investigate, the mysterious boat also disappeared, without a trace. Some people thought maybe the boat was cursed or had bad luck. The story of Ellen Austen and the floating abandoned boat has interested historians and people who have loved ships for many years. Despite different ideas and guesses, nobody knows for sure what happened to the boat and its crews. Historical records show that Ellen Austen was a famous ship known for its trips across the Atlantic. Finding the abandoned boat added more interest to its history. Number 7. The USS Cyclops. The disappearance of the U.S. Navy ship USS Cyclops while sailing between the West Indies and Baltimore raised many questions. The ship, which was about 550 feet long and had a crew of 306 people, set sail from Brazil and stopped in Barbados for supplies. The last communication received from the vessel was a message saying, "Weather fair, all well." Experts believe that something went wrong during the 9-day journey. After 2 years, an article claimed that the ship encountered a storm and sank to the bottom of the ocean. The U.S. Navy issued a statement calling the disappearance of the USS Cyclops a perplexing mystery in the history of the Navy. The USS Cyclops was a massive ship, measuring approximately 550 feet in length. It was manned by a crew of 306 individuals, making it a significant presence in the naval fleet. Departing from Brazil, the ship made a stop in Barbados to replenish its supplies before continuing its journey. Despite being a routine voyage, the fate of the USS Cyclops became shrouded in mystery. The last message received from the vessel indicated favorable weather conditions and the well-being of the crew. However, something went awry during the 9-day journey, leading to speculations and theories about its disappearance. The U.S. Navy, baffled by the disappearance of one of its vessels, issued a statement acknowledging the enigmatic nature of the event. The USS Cyclops vanished without a trace, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and speculation. Number 6. Carroll A. Deering Vessel. The Carroll A. Deering vessel was a schooner that mysteriously vanished in 1921, leaving behind a perplexing maritime mystery that has fascinated people for decades. The ship was named after its owner, Carroll A. Deering, and was built in 1919 in Bath, Maine. At the time of its disappearance, the Carroll A. Deering was on its way back to Hampton Roads, Virginia, after delivering a shipment of coal to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The ship was under the command of Captain William H. Merritt and had a crew of 10 men. The vessel was last sighted on January 28, 1921, off the coast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. It was spotted by another ship, the SS Hewitt, whose crew noticed something strange about the Carroll A. Deering. The ship was sailing erratically, with no one visible on deck, and its lifeboats were missing. Several days later, on January 31, 1921, the Carroll A. Deering was found abandoned and grounded on Diamond Shoals, a series of sandbars off the coast of North Carolina. When authorities boarded the ship, they found that all the crew's personal belongings, navigational equipment, and the ship's logbook were missing. The ship's food and water supplies were also depleted, suggesting that the crew had been gone for some time. Number 5. The Witchcraft Marina Yacht. On the evening of December 22, 1967, hotel owner Dan Barrick invited Father Patrick Hogan for a leisurely cruise on his 23-foot-long boat called Witchcraft, docked at a marina in Miami Beach. Around 9 p.m., while they were approximately a mile away from Miami Beach, they encountered some trouble and radioed the Miami Coast Guard for assistance. Within 19 minutes of their distress call, the Coast Guard responded, but despite an extensive search effort covering an area of around 2,400 square miles, Witchcraft was nowhere to be found. This mysterious disappearance sparked widespread interest and concern. Witchcraft, known for its sturdy build and safety features, had seemingly vanished without a trace, leaving experts and the public baffled. The Coast Guard deployed helicopters, boats, and planes to scour the waters, yet the boat remained elusive. The search for Witchcraft became one of the most extensive operations in Coast Guard history at the time, involving multiple agencies and volunteers. Despite their efforts, the fate of the vessel and its occupants remained unknown. The incident raised questions about maritime safety and the capabilities of search and rescue operations. It also highlighted the ocean's unpredictable nature and the challenges those who navigate its waters face. To this day, the fate of Witchcraft and its occupants remains a mystery, leaving behind a legacy of intrigue and speculation. Number 4. Perry Cohen and Austin Stefano. In 2015, two young buddies, Perry Cohen and Austin Stefanos, who were just 14, went fishing in the Bahamas aboard Perry's mom's single-engine 19-foot boat. Unfortunately, the boat disappeared, triggering a massive search effort involving volunteers and the U.S. Coast Guard. They scoured an area spanning 50,000 square miles, but the boat wasn't found until the following spring, off the coast of Bermuda. Sadly, Perry and Austin were nowhere to be found. The boat lacked essential safety equipment like emergency beacons, GPS, or radios, making their situation even more precarious. Witnesses reported that the boat set sail despite rough weather conditions, with winds reaching up to 40 miles per hour that day. Tragically, both friends were presumed dead, leaving behind grieving families and friends. In their memory, a memorial was established to raise awareness about boat safety, hoping to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Despite the extensive search efforts, the exact circumstances of their disappearance remain a mystery, adding to the tragedy of the situation. The story of Perry and Austin serves as a sobering reminder of the importance of proper safety precautions when venturing out into the open waters. Number 3. Wreckage of SS Cotopaxi. In the extraordinary year of 2020, a remarkable discovery captivated the world. The wreckage of the SS Cotopaxi, a coal ship that vanished mysteriously in the Bermuda Triangle in 1925, was finally found after nearly 90 years. Originally reported missing during its routine journey from Charleston, South Carolina to Cuba, the ship's fate had long puzzled experts. Marine biologists and underwater specialists speculated that the vessel sent out a distress signal in December of 1925 before disappearing into the depths of the ocean. Contrary to popular belief, the ship was not found in a desert. Rather, its remnants were located approximately 35 miles off the northeast coast of Florida, near St. Augustine. Interestingly, the iconic image of the SS Cotopaxi, stranded in the desert, is attributed to Steven Spielberg's 1977 film, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Some theories suggest that aliens placed the ship there in the movie. However, in reality, the wreckage was nowhere near a desert. It was found close to a restricted military zone off the coast of Cuba. This finding sheds new light on the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle and prompts further exploration into its enigmatic depths. It also underscores the importance of maritime safety and navigation in modern times. Number 2. The TTH Electron Vessel. In 1968, Donald Craven started a risky journey to join a race around the world, attracted by a prize of 5,000 pounds. His boat, the TTH Electron, a strong 40-foot ship, was his chosen partner for this big trip. Setting off from where the Thames River meets the sea at the end of October 1968, Craven eagerly began his journey, ready to challenge himself against the huge expanses of the world's oceans. But Craven's lack of experience and problems with his boat became clear early on. Dealing with difficulties right from the start, he faced a tough choice. Should he quit the race and risk feeling embarrassed, or keep going, risking his safety? Determined to keep going, Craven decided to turn off his radio and sail through the dangerous waters of the southern Atlantic during the harsh winter. During his journey, Craven carefully wrote down his experiences in his logbook, planning to record his trip for future generations. He aimed to write detailed notes in his logs and returned to England in 1969, having successfully sailed around the world. About 8 months later, Craven's boat was found drifting, with nobody aboard except for the last words he wrote in his logbook. Even though the boat showed no signs of damage, experts think Craven probably met a tragic end. Number 1. The SS Marine Sulfur Queen. The SS Marine Sulfur Queen is one of the many ships that have faced strange events in the Bermuda Triangle. In 1963, this ship disappeared without a trace off the southern coast of Florida while carrying 39 crew members. Originally built as a T2 tanker, it was later changed to transport molten sulfur. After it vanished, an investigation by the U.S. Coast Guard revealed worrying findings. The ship was considered not safe for sailing due to safety concerns and lack of seaworthiness. Several potential reasons for the disaster were thought about, including bad design and maintenance practices. However, one big reason stood out: the constant fires that plagued the vessel. The SS Marine Sulfur Queen had frequent fires, especially around its 4 large sulfur tanks. These fires were so common that the crew hardly bothered to raise alarms anymore. Surprisingly, when the ship arrived at New Jersey Harbor, it was still on fire. Despite this, the crew unloaded the shipment and set sail again in the same dangerous condition. According to the Coast Guard's analysis, the fires on the ship, along with the chance of an explosion, could have been the cause of its disappearance. This idea helps explain the sad fate of the SS Marine Sulfur Queen and the dangers it faced due to negligence and disregard for safety rules. Which of these disappearances do you find the most shocking? Do share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Like and subscribe for more mystifying videos.